Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This bonus reading is for you, Scorpio. And this is a reading to see how does the Chinese New Year, the fire horse energy, affect the Western zodiac signs. And we have my cat here come flying in because she heard I'm doing another reading. All right, you can sit on my lap. You have to be a good little girl though, okay? Yeah, be a good girl. So, where were we? Okay, yes, I wanted to check out how is this fire horse energy going to affect you, Scorpio? And so the major difference between the zodiacs is the Chinese New Year is following the lunar calendar, and it is starting on February 17th this year. And in 2027, in 2027, it will be over. On February 5th. And then the Western zodiac is following the solar system in celestial stars. And we have that, of course, always beginning on January 1st. The energy is also that the Chinese zodiac is based on the year you were born, whereas the Western zodiac is based on the month that you were born. And so, as I said, this year begins on February 17th, and this is the year of the fire horse energy. And this is happening one day before moving from Aquarius to Pisces in the Western zodiac. So now, if you have already blown your New Year's resolution, February 17th will be your next chance. There you go. We're going to start with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Empress. So the Empress is really awesome energy to begin a reading off with. This is talking about the Empress is all four queens rolled into one. So she's all four queens from the minor arcana. She embodies those qualities. And so that is like, she's good, she understands the pentacle. She knows quality over quantity. When it comes to money, she's, someone you can trust to do a good job of managing it. She's also someone who has a very loving nature and, is sexy and loving. And she also loves, she has unconditional love for people and her family and her children and that kind of energy, and her partner. And then she also is very intelligent and has a good discipline of her mind as well as her emotions. And so this is like someone who is definitely a really good life partner to consider. And also she is considered like to be pregnant with possibilities. She has all this wheat growing at her feet, and it's just this representing her ability to plant seeds and have nature take care of it for her so that it grows. And she also can be the symbol, if you're looking for this, to be pregnant with an actual child. So that's the energy that we're beginning the reading with, and we're going to start with February now. So there's some energy here. With the Empress here, I feel like this card can be read two ways. So this can talk about having to put burdens down that you're carrying that don't belong to you. And it also can represent having brought in, planted the seeds, and now you're bringing in the harvest. And these are really heavy because there's, so much fruit on them for you to harvest. And the thing is because of the way he's holding them, he can't see that he's almost home. And so this card is saying, don't give up. It's time to bring it home, like that kind of energy. Having said that, if there was some of the seeds that you planted are not what you want to keep, you could always put a couple down and just keep going. You can see he's very close to his home, but he can't see it. So this card sometimes says there might be a better way for you to bring this harvest in. You might use a truck. It's not the old days anymore. That kind of energy. Be inventive. And then we have the Page of Swords. And so the Page of Swords, the pages would work for the king and queen in the court. And they would deliver messages within the palace walls. And they would generally start working for the king and queen around 7 to 14 years of age. So this is a youthful energy. And, when they grew up, if they really did well as apprentices and learning all the ropes, then they might be considered for knighthood as long as they could afford a horse, and around the age of 21. And so, this Page of Swords, the element is the sword, and it's a double-edged sword. So it's about your thoughts and your intelligence, the control you have over your mind. This, you'll notice, like, this almost looks like a golfer, and I always feel like this is looking like someone, like they're looking into the future where they want to go. And so this is the only page out of all the pages, there's 4 of them, that is not focused on his element. It's like he's already has the thought, he already knows what he wants, and now he wants to find maybe an innovative way to get there. So this is someone who is able to think outside the box. And sometimes this will just represent, like, it can represent communication coming in. And like these days, because we have the ability to have so much communication so quickly, it could be news, coming in the form, I got a newsletter for some reason, a newsletter, an email, a phone call, a text, it could be a social media post, that kind of energy. There's so many ways of communicating now. And it also could just represent a fresh thought coming in, like, aha, I have it, eureka. I finally figured it out. I figured out the last piece to the puzzle that I was working on. And so this energy, it's talking like kind of like a breath of fresh air. Now, I just want to point out that the characters that are in the tarot, they are archetypes representing energy. So like this Empress could also be a male in his feminine energy, and this Page, in the old days, of course, they were all male, but now it could be a young, youthful woman energy in her masculine energy. And then we have the energy of, okay, like here we have walking away from what no longer serves you. And, we just, as I'm doing this reading right now, we just walked away from the energy of the full, we just had the full moon yesterday and last night, and we have a couple more days of that energy. And you'll notice the full moon here, and the full moon, so if you're, listening to this on January 4th, this is a really good time to let go of whatever doesn't serve you. This person has clearly put in 8 cups of energy into someone or something that he really loves, but they've decided, you know what, it's not working out and I'm walking away. And or it can represent someone that's going upstream and deciding, has already put these has these stacked, and now they're going to get cup number 9 and cup number 10. There's 10 cups in total. So cups quite often do represent romantic love, but they also can represent something that you love to do or something you love to be, somewhere you love to go, like that kind of energy. And the new moon is there also because we do have a new moon coming in. I think it's the 18th of I'm getting it a little bit mixed up. I believe it's the 18th or so of January, and that it will be a Capricorn new moon. But I've got to check on that. I've been pretty focused on getting these readings out because this fire horse energy has been coming in a lot in all of my readings, and that's why I wanted to see what is the effect of the Chinese New Year. I mean, you can look up, I'm not as familiar with the Chinese zodiac at all as I am with the Western one. And there's so much to it. Like they have 5 elements, and instead of 4, and they have like 12 animals, and you know, there's so many rules like that, and they have a lot of superstitions in the Chinese zodiac. So I'm just checking right now to see, okay, what is the fire horse energy that comes in on the 17th? What kind of effect is this going to have? Right now, we have more the effect of the January energy, I would say. And because this here is talking about, like, the 10 represents, like, January is a 1 year. It's from 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10, and that 1 plus 0 is 1. So it represents a brand new cycle. And we moved out of 2025, which was a 9 year. And that was the end of like a pretty much like a decade-long cycle that came to an end when we moved into on January 1st into the new year in the Western calendar. Now that energy, people were feeling it a lot more because of the energy of the fact that it is the end of a 10-year cycle and a movement into a new 10-year cycle rather than just a new year moving from one new year to the other. And when the 10 shows up in these readings, I pay attention saying, okay, this is February of 2026. And this energy is kind of like where you're at then and now, March, April, and we have May. So this energy is talking about really feeling, okay, so you've made a decision, I really want to just walk away from this. It's not worth it to me. I'm not enjoying it anymore. I don't love it anymore. I don't love that. Like, I'm not up for this anymore. This can represent someone that disappointed you in love. 3 strikes, you're out. It can also represent a third party being involved in the relationship. So we'll see what it's about as we go along here. And then we have the 4 of Swords. So the 4 of Swords is about, okay, I'm not going to overthink this anymore. I'm going to do what's in my heart more. Like, I'm going to follow my heart on this matter. And I'm going inward. I'm going to put my mind down. I'm going to rest my mind. This is subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind hung on the wall. And then the sword here being put to rest. And this person is meditating and praying. And this church window has the word Pax on it, and that represents peace. So peace of mind is what you're looking for, I'm getting. So Scorpio's saying, I want some peace of mind. I don't want to carry other people's burdens, because that also can represent that. I want to bring in my own harvest. I don't want to have to overthink it anymore. I don't want to have to think about it at all is what's coming up. I'm done. I want to walk away from it. I'm going to meditate for a while here and see how I feel. And then Temperance comes in. So Temperance represents, this is actually Sagittarius energy, and that's kind of getting close to this fire horse energy. Sagittarius energy and the fire horse energy are very similar. But this one is talking, the Temperance card is talking about, some people consider this the card that's talking about the earth angels that come to earth to do God's work. This is about pouring into yourself. Using your subconscious and your unconscious and conscious mind and your heart energy, and using your intuition as well as your logic to come to this decision. So it's not just a logical decision and it's not just an intuitive decision. It's both. And it's about staying on the path that you're here. What's your mission? Your mission is to complete the mission. Your mission is to be the best version of you. This is talking about devotion, though, to the path that you were put on this planet for, in alignment with the Most High. And then we have Destiny. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune turning. This is a 10 card also. So this is talking about February, March, April, May, June, July, and this represents past, present, future. The only place where we have actual linear time is on the Earth, like in the 3D. In the rest of the time is just, that's why the Wheel of Fortune actually has 3 wheels, the past, the present, and future, and they sort of all come together in synchronicity, and and it clicks, and it's time. Okay, now it's your turn. This is about it's time for you to move forward. So the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy is not known for being that patient. So for them to have to be patient can be very challenging. And so this energy is talking about, okay, I'm done waiting now. I've been patient and I've been waiting. I want to take action. Now we're talking about this fire horse energy coming in, because it's very free-spirited energy, and it can be very impulsive, and also it can be kind of rebellious. And so this energy is very determined, and it can be very charming. Oh, that looks really good. That kind of energy. If you ever go for a ride on a horse and really enjoyed it, I'm seeing going for a ride on the beach, on a beautiful day. It's kind of like such a powerful energy that this beautiful large animal that's so free-spirited is allowing you to control it, you know, that kind of energy. And just the freedom that you have from being on a horse, it's an incredible feeling. And when it comes to like the fire horse energy, the fire horse wants to go. And so the energy that when it comes to your career and your wealth is like setting very ambitious goals and really going for them this year. If you're going to be setting ambitious goals that are kind of adventurous, out of the norm, 2026, that energy with the fire horse energy is very supportive of that. And then we also, but we have the thing about the horse, fire horse energy that we have to really watch is it can be very impulsive. And if you've ever ridden a horse and you've ever or seen a horse that manages to get the bit in its mouth, you have no control and it's going to go. And the thing is, if you're on a horse, like if you're on foot and you go in the wrong direction, it could be like, oh, how far are you going to get? But if you're on a horse, you can go really far, really fast. And if it's a panicked horse, it's spooked horse, it could be really a rough ride, and it could, end up really badly if you're bucked off or that kind of energy. So it's talking kind of like about really avoiding burnout, like not being so much into that fire horse energy that you do impulsive shift and then you end up like burning yourself out because you can't keep up with it. Like you set your goals so high that no one would be able to accomplish them kind of energy and without like a supreme amount of effort. And that's kind of what it's saying in the year 2026. We don't really want to be in this, like we're forcing energy. We want to be able to embrace the energy and be like the Empress. The Empress is like a magnet. She just attracts what she wants to her, and she generates energy off of that. And then that's why she has such a strong capacity for love and for being able to bring in the harvest. And, look at her, she's pretty chilled out compared to this person. That kind of energy. And then, okay, so we have the shift disturber, the Seven of Swords. So this energy is a walking contradiction. We have a thief possibly here stealing these swords away. But it's not a thief in the night because it's broad daylight and there's a little village behind him. Now, is he stealing these swords so that he doesn't have to fight and leaving two for whoever, like what's he doing here? And this energy is talking like, so it can be about innovative thinking again. But the problem with this, the reason this is a walking contradiction is this person is looking backward and moving forward and he's not looking where he's going. And, he's really sneaky about it. So this is, either way, it's kind of sneaky energy. Even if it's innovative, it's kind of like, okay, like, why don't you just come out and say what you have to say kind of energy. And the thing is here, this card warns that if you sign any contracts or, any paperwork or anything like that, or you make agreements with people, cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure that if necessary, you hire an expert to look over everything because there's something shifty about this energy. Either way, even if it's got, like if this energy has good intentions, they're not looking where they're going. So it could end up really, bad. It's kind of like that kind of energy where someone thinks they're being funny and it has this huge impact on your life because they're not funny. And what they did would end up like causing a lot of burdens for you that you don't belong to you. And then we have this energy of, okay, so this is that horse energy I'm talking about of wanting to expand. Like I want to grow and I want to evolve. And so this energy is talking about, this is the energy of someone that's standing on the turret of their castle. And they're holding the globe in their hand, which represents the world. So they have done very well. But now they're looking out over their domain, their land, and they're thinking, I want to expand. I want to be like the fire horse energy. Again, we have that coming in here. And so it's talking about, you have you've put a lot of energy and planted it here, but now you want to expand into a different way. So maybe you brought this harvest in, and now with now that you have this one in, you want to maybe take your business to another country. It can speak about franchises. It can talk about wanting to grow, your business in different ways. Maybe start another part of it, or something that's connected, but not the same as what you were doing, that kind of energy. This is talking about a big fish in a little pond. You've mastered kind of where you're at, and now you want to travel to other lands, and expand in different parts of the world, possibly, like go global, that kind of energy. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. There we have it. So yeah, like this is saying, I feel like this is, you notice how similar these two are, like how they're dressed and that kind of energy. So this is the Nine of Pentacles represents someone who has learned the art of give and take. And I feel like this harvest did come in for you. And maybe you're walking away from, I don't really see any energy here that's really about love so much as it's more about loving what you're doing and wanting to accomplish it. It could be about love too. The Empress is would be a very desirable partner. Having said that, I feel like, you notice they're almost dressed the same. So it could be like maybe someone that you knew before, or you are the person, because remember, the Empress can be a male or a female, and in their feminine energy, more in their intuitive energy. And so this is kind of like saying, okay, I brought that harvest in, and now I have 6 Pentacles, and I have an extra 3. So what am I going to invest those in? And it's and you notice she has the Falcon, and it's the same kind of energy as here, where she's looking. She's looking at sending the bird off to take a good look, get an overview of what's going on. And this card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, who said, if you knew the beauty of the 369, then you would have the key to the universe. And I feel like that's kind of what this energy is. This is about being really appreciative of what you have. You're grateful for what you have. You understand the gift, and you want to invest now in maybe something that's, like charity or humanitarian, or I'm getting a philanthropist kind of energy. And so this is talking about being able, like this energy of being pregnant with possibility. I feel like you have your hand on this, but she has learned that she has to save 6 Pentacles for herself and put it back into what she's doing, so that she always has more to give to others. And then she'll eventually have the 10 Pentacles, which is ultimate lifestyle and all of that. And then we have the Magician coming in. So the Magician is talking about when the Fool goes on their journey, the first card that they encounter is the Magician. So it's talking about bringing as above down to earth, so below. So it's talking about the thoughts that you have. Everything that we manifest in matter is a thought, at the beginning. Like say you have a thought, oh, I'd like to have a chair that looks a certain way. Then you put that thought into motion, and eventually you produce the chair. It's that kind of energy. And so this is talking about bringing your thoughts and that energy, what you want to manifest, down to reality. And it says you have all the tools that you need on your bench here, infinite potential. At the same time, there's an Ouroboros on his waist, and that Ouroboros is the snake that's biting its tail. And I feel like that's representing the energy from 2025. Like you don't want to get caught in a loop that you felt you were in for the 10 years before. Like you don't want to be in a position where you're having to work really hard like this instead of just enjoying it. And so that's the energy, having that balance, I feel, and having that being able to have, like, this is an energetic upgrade. Like it's a real upgrade in every facet of your life. The pentacles represent coin, but they also represent your abundance in your lifestyle, like your health, wealth, happiness, your lifestyle. And then we have the Knight of Swords coming in. So the Knight of Swords energy is that kind of energy I was talking about with the horse when it has the bit in its mouth and it goes, right? This looks like this horse, like the way I've seen it in the past has always been, oh, the knight is driving the horse, but what if the horse actually has the mouth in its bit and it's just running, wherever, because it got spooked, and they're running against the wind, and they're charging into something on barren land, and he's just letting the horse run, okay, I'm going to let the horse decide where we're going, kind of energy. So that's the, or maybe he can't stop the horse. So this could represent having acted on a thought that you had, and now you're like, sheesh, I can't rein it in, like, slow down, Nelly. That kind of whoa, Nelly energy. Isn't Nelly the name? I don't know why it must be from a movie or something. Whoa, Nelly. That kind of energy. Yeah, because there's a tower comes in because of it. See, that's the energy, the danger of the fire horse energy is burnout. So reality hits. But having said that, the tower can be a good or a bad reality, like it's a surprise. And it usually is very uncomfortable because it's a boom, it just hits like that. How often do you get struck by lightning? It knocks them right off the tower, right? This comfortable position that you were in before, you're not in that comfortable position anymore, is what it's saying. You're now, like, if you've made the leap, it's kind of the energy, like now you're committed, right? And so it's like, okay, it's going to be a wild ride, but I'm gonna see where this horse takes me. That kind of energy is what I'm getting. So the reality check, a lot of people look at that and they're like, oh my Lord, it looks so disturbing. But really, the reality check is just like reality. And maybe like if you've been in your head and your thoughts a lot, now you have to really make this happen kind of energy. And so that would be in January. Moving back in, and then February 5th would be the energy of the fire horse year ending. And that's the concern, is not taking on so much that you end up burning yourself out before you can get there, kind of. Because now we're back in, you don't want to be back here a year later with a different project that you were supposed to be enjoying more, but you got into your old habits and you made it like kind of, too gung-ho, like not chilling out and enjoying the ride. That's the energy. Like, make sure you enjoy the ride. If you're gonna run this fast with a horse, you may as well like hang on and go for it, because it doesn't look like that horse. If it has the bit, that horse is not slowing down. It's going to keep running for a bit here. And there's also that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this is a better direction, is what I'm saying. So, like, I feel like it might be a new direction you're going in your business, but you have to be very careful that you don't end up in a burnout position because you're handling it the old way that you did, when it's supposed to be something that's going to bring you more joy, like it's you're at the Nine of Pentacles when you're doing it. You don't have to do it. It's because you want to do it, kind of energy. Okay, so I hope you're enjoying this, and please give it a like and comment if you are Scorpio, and we will look into this a little bit more with my oracle cards. And this is Tales from the Vector, TAILS. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I started this in 2007, and I completed 64 paintings in 2020, at the end of 2020. And now I've had them out and about, but never with all the paintings done. And so now I'm gathering the information so I can print this deck out and have the book that goes along with it with the correct information. So I'm just tuning my cards in here. These cards have numbers on them. The numbers represent the numbers of the paintings in the order they are in my gallery at talesfromthevector.com. So you can check them out. I will put in the description box. I will put them in the order they appear here. I just want to shuffle because these cards have a tendency to let me know when okay, it's time, like we're tuned in to this energy. So what's going on here? Can we get some more clarity about this energy? Like moving forward. I mean, you never, you know, you're not in charge of the time. No one can really tell the time frame, but we can kind of tell. Oh, there we have it. Okay, that's what I mean. The energy just jumps out. Okay, so, oh, here we have it. Sorry, Stella, my cat is sad because she was sleeping. It's okay. It's okay, you can stay on the lap. I just had to go get that, had to get that card off the floor. So it went flying, and it's Sagittarius. And this is talking about the fire horse energy. So the good and bad of it, like being like, so again, it's just saying, the fire horse energy is a lot of fun because it's about adventure, and it's about expansion, and it's about traveling and fast, and you know, it's fun to ride a horse, that kind of energy. Having said that, it's also saying, you know, you want to be like the Empress as well, and like more laid back. You don't want to get into, you don't want to become impulsive. The negative part of the fire horse energy is being very impulsive, and also kind of regretting your decisions that you made because they were too ambitious for the time frame. It's not that they're too ambitious, but for the time frame is what I'm getting. And so it becomes more of a burden than fun for you. And it was meant to be something, you know, to that you were doing because you wanted to take it to a new level. And that's the energy talking about that. You don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to be, when this tower hits, you want it to be, woohoo, now I know what to do next kind of energy. Not, oh my God, what happened now? You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. And so we have on this, it's talking about in this energy of bringing the harvest in. We've moved pretty much into the Aquarius age, and this is about thinking and air and that energy. And we moved from Pisces, which was about swimming like a fish. And you take a fish out of water and it's uncomfortable. And the Aquarius energy is ruled by Uranus, and it's kind of about observing and experimenting and taking it in smaller increments, you know, not trying to fix old problems, not looking at things from the old perspective, but from a new perspective, and then putting a small experiment in place, just enough so you could see, okay, did that make the situation better or did it make it worse? And if it made it worse, okay, we won't be doing that. Let's take it in a slightly different direction. That was an improvement. Let's double up on that and let's do it like that, like, so it's more fun. So it's not like, oh damn, what did I do here kind of energy. Now I've got all these burdens. And then we have the disruption coming in, and it's like, yeah, what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. So this card's been coming up a lot because you know, a lot of people, when they think about disruption, they think about you know, disasters that are happening. And I just want to say this, what happened in Switzerland with the fire in that bar. Oh, I've been praying for those people because that's a real hard one. It's so like, it's just too much, really, like in a lot of ways. And so it's those kinds of disruptions that we think of, but you know, that has altered so many people's lives in so many ways. But like the holiday season, that's kind of the energy. It can really take people off track and like not make strong decisions. Like when they were in that bar and the fire started, like get out, and they were videoed, like they were recording it on their cell phones instead of running, you know, that kind of energy. And just not knowing the danger that they were really in. And it was just horrendous, right? And so that kind of disruption, I mean, like when you're kind of in this, it's like that energy when you go on a holiday somewhere, and because it's like a holiday for you, you kind of go into holiday mode, but you don't pay attention to the danger signs around you because you're being a tourist and you're in that holiday mode, and nothing goes wrong on holidays. This is supposed to be fun. Having said that, the people that live there live there. It's not a holiday for them, and so you have to be aware of that. And okay, so then denial energy coming in here. So there's these tactics coming in here. And the tactics are, this is what I don't know won't hurt me. So whatever happened here that you felt like, okay, I've got to walk away from it the way that it was. I don't feel like this was about love. I really don't. I feel like this is you embracing this Empress energy. And remember, this can be a male or a female in their feminine, using their intuition. I feel like perhaps there was something you didn't know, and then you found out, and you're like, okay, now I'm going to go in a different direction. But I feel like you found out using your intuition. And then the Capricorn energy is coming in. So this is about being really responsible, being able to see the possibilities and the challenges. The Saturn energy is really like being mature about it, taking all your resources and making sure that you're not just basing things on kind of what you think is happening, and more on using your logic and your intuition to make really strong choices, and having the patience to make sure that that comes through in that way. And then this is the World, being neutral. And so, it's really about your journey in the world. And when you can get neutral to the extremes, then you're more likely to make a strong choice because you're in the middle. If you can get strong to the extremes on either side of you, okay, I'm not even going to do it, or I am going to do it. And then you're more likely to find the strongest version of how to do it kind of energy. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune here, is Temperance on this. Okay, so that's funny, hey? So this is saying like, this is about having the patience to get neutral so that you make strong choices. And because once you make this choice, 21 is the last card in the Fool's Journey. Like they start at 0, they go to 1, and then they go through the entire major arcana. And 21 is the last step. And then that again is, okay, now it's the end of the cycle. And so see, that's why this tower comes in to affect this, right? And that's kind of like because these readings are past, present, and future, it kind of is all happening at once in a weird way. So it's kind of like that. And that's why you need to, to track the exact timing is not really even a concern. It's more what kind of energy are you in as you go kind of energy. And so look at this, we have the World being neutral. You get neutral there, then you can end the cycle of doubt, and then you're in that's when the Wheel of Destiny clicks. And then you're on your Temperance. You've waited, you've gotten neutral, and now you're ready to go in a strong way, in the strongest way that you can. And then Judgment on this sneaky energy. So, yeah, unfettered. Okay, so this is talking about God's judgment. Like the judgment card in the Oracle is a pink dragon, pink and green dragon, and she's flying through the sky from the Pleiades. And she's actually, the crystal in the background is the Super 7. So it's kind of interesting. But this is like, the judgment is actually up to the Most High. We don't know what other people have been through, and we really can't determine timing, because it's all that this is destiny is about God's plan, and this is doing God's work in God's way. Like sometimes you have to surrender what you want to do and do it when the time is right, and that time will be shown you if you're intuitive enough to pick it up. And then we have the energy of Libra. So this is being mature enough to be able to really be able to see let go of expectations and just kind of enjoy the ride, like being mature enough of an adult where like this is the age where people quite often are, okay, I'm ready for marriage. Like if they're people that are responsible and like, okay, I'm ready for marriage, I'm ready to raise a family, that kind of energy. It's about being able to consider the other people around you as much as you do yourself kind of energy. And then we have Mother's Worry coming in here. I really feel like this card has been coming in so much, and I just feel like, a lot of people consider the earth to be like a mother and Mother Earth. And I feel like there's so much worry and concern around the world. But if there's one thing that you may have noticed if you're worrying, if you've ever worried, you may have noticed that it doesn't help. It makes things worse, actually. And especially if a mother worries about her children, then if you can't see a strong future for your children, who's going to, And because you have such a close link, when you're a mother, you have such a close link to your children, like it's so intuitive. A mother's worry can be really burdensome, that kind of energy. And then we have All-Star, so the third eye. So yeah, it's about making your decisions using your insight as well as your logic. And then you'll know, like, this is an energetic upgrade. So the Magician card is like being able to use your infinite potential and move forward with it. Because you're using your insight, like here, like you've learned how much to give, how much to take, when to give, when to take, how much to invest of yourself, what not to invest in, that kind of energy. And so this again, I feel like this is, I keep getting this project, this whatever this is, like you could stop here. Like there's no need for you to keep going here. But I feel like it might feel like this is something that you have always seen in your mind's eye that you would be doing, and you're going to do it. And it's more for, because you said you would, that kind of energy. And then we have the Gemini energy coming in. So I feel like it's a learning curve. I feel like this is something that maybe is something you never really have done in this way. I feel like it's using all your, your work that you've put in, all your knowledge from that, what you've learned from, your innovative thinking, and you're putting that into place. And it's like almost going back to school again, like in kindergarten age, like where because the twins represent, that Gemini energy represents an energy of, opposing forces coming together, creative solutions and logic, and like with the possibilities are hidden as challenges, anticipating your journey rather than having limitations of limitations caused by expectations. And like the Aquarius energy, being able to observe and experiment instead of having to fix old problems kind of energy. Expansion and contraction, with the Sagittarius energy. And I just want to point out, when I have these zodiac signs coming in, I'm not like looking for specific people or whatever like that. I'm looking at the energy that that zodiac sign has to offer us, as what can we learn from here, and what is their energy when they're in a good state of being, when the Gemini energy is in a real strong state of being. That's when you'll find creative solutions, right? That kind of energy. And they might remind you of people, and you might be, like that, so like that, like I know that person, and that could possibly be, but that's not my intention here, just so you're aware of it. It could be like for your specific, whatever's happening specifically in your situation, that you can recognize certain people, and that might empower you some more also. If you are watching this sometime after I posted it, you came across it at the perfect time, but go back and take a look at what was going on when I posted this. It might give you even more clarity. And so, yeah, a lack of awareness. Never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. What a lot of people don't realize is when you're not aware sometimes one of the biggest dangers is missing the opportunities that you've been waiting for. You know, that kind of energy. And that's why the reality check comes in, like, be aware of what's happening around you, and, you know, making sure that you utilize this energy to the best that you can. I feel like this is a real, I'd love to see whatever this is you're building, Scorpio. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride. And remember, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Don't get frustrated by it. So please do like and comment if you've enjoyed this reading, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. It would be my honor if you did so. I will be back with another reading for you mid-month in January here. Bye for now, Scorpio. Sorry, Stella. Now I have to wake you up again. Whoa, don't chew on that cord.